Guarded by Wanamaker with 10 seconds to go. Coombs McDaniel on the screen. Walker with 7.
Got a mismatch.
Walker on McGee with 4. Kemba Walker. Step back. Walker. Cardi and Kemba. Does it again. UConn wins at the buzzer.
Welcome to National Championship Monday. It is Hoop Drunk with Jake from Eagle Eye, coming off a 1-1 split of the weekend. Hand up, I was wrong about Villanova. I was wrong about Kansas. That was not much of a game. I felt right away, obviously, you go down, I think we were down 20 in the first half, or near 20 in the first half, and then you get the thing down to 6 with just a few minutes left, but never quite getting close enough to really make that a realistic cover. Game 2 lived up to all the hype. UNC wins it outright, knocks off Coach K, and finishes the Blue Devils' miracle run. I love it. It was the perfect thing for me, obviously being a UNC bettor and Duke hater at the same time. So, great Saturday night. Looking at the tournament as a whole, 25-15, up 5.5 units with one game left to play. That one game left tonight. Kansas is laying 4 against UNC. The money lines move slightly, but the spread's been pretty much fixed since release. I do expect some similar late play like we saw from Villanova on Saturday, so if you're looking to take UNC, it may be the time to pull the trigger sooner rather than later. Reports out of Vegas as of last night, the public is currently split. We're seeing some heavy action on Kansas, however, so that line is going to hold. We've seen the Heels. They've won this thing outright as dogs 5 straight times. Now, obviously, Armando Bacot. We're going to talk about that injury a little bit more as we go on. This line is probably about 2.5 with him fully healthy, 2.5 or 3. I figure usually if you get a 1 versus an 8, you're probably looking at a 6 to 7 point spread. But with the way that UNC's played, covered as dogs, you had to lay it at 4, and I think it's a good number overall. However, you'll see that I have a little different idea. So I've got 3 props. College basketball props are always a tough one. There's really no consistency like you see in the NBA. They're a lot more, shooting fish in a barrel. It's not super easy, but there are 3 that I have for tonight that I'm going to kind of probably, I'll release the wagers on them exactly because my book hasn't released and I may have to do a little shopping online. Regardless, I'm going to kind of go through them here. Again, Armando Bacot, his props are locked as of right now until we get a full idea of the extent of his injury, how he's feeling today. Nobody's going to let you bet any of his numbers. However, the other best player in this game, probably the best player on the floor, is going to be Agbaji. Agbaji went 0 for 5 from 3 against Providence, had 5 points. I thought, who is this kid? Well, since then, he's shot 8 of 9 from 3, scoring 18 and 21 in his last 2 games. I like Agbaji over 16.5. It clears his season average, checks a few boxes for me. I think he is going to be a little more athletic than UNC wants to deal with at that guard position. So I think over 16.5 is good for him there. Next one, David McCormick. So McCormick had himself a hell of a game, 9 boards, really asserted himself. He's not going to be able to move so freely in the lane this time around. I've got his rebounds under 7.5. So with the Bacot injury, this number is probably a little higher than it should be. Even with the size advantage, they allowed Nova to grab 12 offensive rebounds. Prior to last round, McCormick had yet to clear that total in the NCAA tournament, and he'd only cleared it in 38% of games this season. Especially if Bacot's somewhat healthy, I think we're getting a really good one there. We're going to go under 7.5 for McCormick. The third prop is the Caleb Love prop. Like I said, Caleb Love, one of the better stories we've seen this NCAA tournament. That guy hoists shots. It's been a blast to watch, but you can definitely say he's a little bit of a ball hog. Second-year guard, averaged 3.5 assists on the season, put up about 13 shots a game. Well, he's put up over 20 shots a game over their last 3 and logged only 1 assist in the final 4. With Bacot injured, I do think he's going to try to throw on the Superman cape. I don't expect many assists from him. We're going to go Caleb Love under 3.5 assists. So those are the 3 props that I'm looking at. Now for the game. So like I said, and I think a lot of people have already seen this, I bet UNC money line. I bet UNC for plus 160, regardless of the injury. The Heels, to me, are a team of destiny. They've conquered every battle down the stretch. They knocked off Baylor. They blew out the teams they were supposed to blow out. Like I touched on earlier, 5 straight outright as dogs for this group. They've got balance from top to bottom. They've got multiple guys that can and will take the big shot if needed. Hubert Davis, unbelievable coaching job. The fact that you have the guy that was your predecessor is sitting 3 rows behind you, and you are taking his team pretty much to the national championship game with a hell of a good chance to win it. All kudos to Coach Davis. I think UNC is in phenomenal hands moving forward. Also, I touched on it earlier. There is a distinct size advantage for the Jayhawks last round. I was wrong saying that Jay Wright had a plan for it. He obviously didn't. This size advantage, it goes away. North Carolina, I said it last pod, they're the second best defensive rebounding team in the country, and they bring Armando Bacot, who had 20 rebounds last game. The points, super, super enticing. I get it. It's 4 points. You can push it to 5, just like I did last game. I'm going money line. I'm going to do 3 units, UNC plus 160. I cashed it in the other day, or not cashed it in, I bet it the other day. 4-0 betting with the in Tar Heels games this tournament. I'm looking to make it 5. So UNC money line, Caleb Love under 3.5 assists, David McCormick under 7.5 boards, and Obaji over 16.5 points. So that'll do it. That's going to wrap it up for Hoop Drunk March Madness. I'm not going to have a recap show or anything like that, tooting my own horn. I'll post a recap probably on Instagram or on Twitter. It's been a fantastic tournament, regardless of how tonight goes. Unless everything goes to shit, we're going to probably end up plus money. You got to love that. I do want to announce that coming up for the NBA playoffs, Hoop Drunk is back. I will have NBA playoff coverage. I'll have podcasts. We'll do videos. We'll do all of the same stuff that we did for March Madness. You guys were so much fun to interact with. It was great. We're going to run it back. NBA playoffs starts, I believe, in about 10 days, maybe a little bit less. Super, super excited. Obviously, my Bucks are in it, so I'll be pulling for them. NBA, 3 straight winners, if you've been following, by the way. Yesterday, big winner with Kyle Lowry, 2.25 unit play to win 2 on that one. Cash that. So keep an eye out. I'm going to continue to pump out some content, continue to pump out some winners. Again, I appreciate you all for making this a super fun experience, and let's go Tar Heels. That'll do it for me.